Okay, we're going to continue on this idea of algebra with, so it's addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, but now we've thrown in the variables. Okay, so in the last video I reminded you that you have to have like terms. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. Okay, but now let's throw in multiplication and division, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, all of it in one video, in one problem. Okay, here we go. Let's do, let's start off slow. Okay, let's do 2x times 3x. Okay, that was like a problem we did before. And I'm going to get negative 6x squared. And I'm not showing how you can algebraically rewrite that. That's, I think, a skill you have now. Okay. Now, what if I had negative 2 times the quantity x plus 1? Now, I think we're at the point where we need to remember the order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division left to right, addition and subtraction left to right. Okay, remember left to right, left to right. Now, we did talk about this in the past, but parentheses means grouping symbol. So it could be a bracket, okay, it could be the squirrely ones, could be an absolute value. In this case, it is a set of parentheses. Is there anything to do inside of the parentheses? And the answer is no, because x plus 1, theirs are not like. Okay, so I'm going to put a check. Are there any exponents? No. Is there any multiplication division? Yes. Where is it? It's right here. Okay, it's 2 times the quantity x plus 1. So I need to, this is called the distributive property of multiplication. And for me, I think of this as I'm the lady that is handing out candy, right? Like this is Halloween right here. I am the negative 2, and these are the trick-or-treaters. And so someone comes to the door, and I'm like, oh, here, have some candy. And then someone else comes, and I'm like, oh, here, have some candy, which is a goofy way of remembering it, but it's the distributive property. You are distributing candy. You are distributing multiply times 2. So here we go. That is, I'm distributing, I'm handing it out. Negative 2 times x. Oh gosh, well that one's not too bad. Negative 2x. And now you need to distribute that negative 2 again, but this time to the positive 1. So what do we have here? I'm going to put it as plus negative 2 times 1. Okay, do you see that? This looks a little confusing, but always use a plus, then glue that sign to the 2. And if this had been a negative, I would have put that one right there. Okay, now, order of operations matters, right? It matters right here. What are you going to do? You're going to do the multiplication next. That's these guys right here. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Okay, now this is back to our addition and subtraction. Plus a negative, negative 2x minus 2. Whoa, okay, that's kind of light colored. Let me do it, let me rewrite that. We'll go negative 2x minus 2. I think my marker's getting a little faint. Okay, I'll get that ink down there. Okay, now, one second, I dropped my eraser. Okay, we'll edit that out. Okay, now, let's make the problem harder. Well, not too much harder. Let's just go a little baby steps. Let's do minus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, how's that showing up? I don't think that's showing up very good. Let's use a white marker. Okay, I'll rewrite it. Negative 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 1. There we go. That looks nicer. Okay. There we go. Now remember, what are we doing? We're distributing. We're going negative 2 times x squared. That's negative 2x squared. We're doing negative 2 times negative 2x. Okay, so let's write it like this. Okay. And I'm showing more work than necessary to be clear. This is then distributing the negative 2 times the 1, negative 2 times 1. Okay, I think that's running off the edge of the board, but you guys got the idea. Let's scoot it over this way. Negative 2x squared is the first term. Negative times a negative, because right here I'm doing this multiplication division. That is a positive 4x. Okay, now plus a plus, and I just wrote 1. I kind of skipped a step there. Now, what do we have here? Plus negative 2 times 1, just negative 2. And that one, because the signs were different, I was trying to slow down, show you a little bit more. Okay, but plus and minus is just a minus. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna make it hard. Let's try this. If I'm gonna do a little recall, just to remind you of how this works. If I had x, how many x's do I have? I just have one of them. Okay, that one is what we call an assumed one. You know it's there, it doesn't need to be written. Okay, now the same thing is true if I had negative x, but I could rewrite that as negative 1x. Now, let's apply this concept to this problem, and I make it negative times 2x squared. Well, it doesn't matter what I had over there. Let's just change the problem a little bit. Okay, so this right here, this negative, is like this negative, and it really is a negative 1, which really makes this problem the same as this problem. See how there's a negative 2 and we distributed it? What does that negative 1 do? Well, if I put it here, ooh, I like green. Okay, and I think of that as that, handing out candy at Halloween. This is a negative times a positive, which gives me a negative 2x squared. Now I'm gonna stop showing all this steps here. Negative 1 times positive 2x is a negative 2x. Negative 1 times a negative 4, negative times a negative is a positive, and I have a plus 4. Okay, you can do this.